guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana and Texas and Arizona and Florida and New York and wherever Jake lives. I don't know that. Jake, you live somewhere in America?
I'm just in my basement, baby.
Okay,
New
not
England.
in a state.
They claimed that entire territory.
In his basement. Okay, fair enough. Surprise episode today. We're going to do the first annual, hopefully it's the first annual, it'll be a recurring theme, hobby content creators fantasy basketball draft. As Andrew so eloquently put before we started, the fate and the champion will be determined by public opinion. And so we are soliciting comments from the people that are going to watch this video about which of the 6 rosters is the best roster at the end of it. There are nothing is at stake except for bragging rights. But we've got some of the GOATs in the hobby. I'm a dime amongst dollars, and I am going to be the commissioner for tonight's hobby draft. And let me just start by introducing everybody. We've got, let's just see, I don't know what order you appear on the screen because I've never gone 6 wide on StreamYard. But we'll start with Chris Hoge. Chris, introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, where to find yourself, what you do. If by chance there's somebody that's in some dark crevice of the hobby that doesn't know who you are, help us out.
Thank you, Brian. Well, I'm primarily known for collecting Anthony Simons, Giannis, PMG Red set, 1986 Fleer set, and the 2012 Prism set. Some of you may know me as the great collector from Louisiana. So thank you for having me. And let's go. Let's draft.
That's Chris McGill from Card Ladder fame. Let's go with Card Ladder, the second of the 4 Card Ladder folks. Josh Johnson. Josh, tell us about yourself.
Yep. I'm Josh, Cardboard_Chronicles on Instagram, co-founder of Card Ladder. Let's draft.
Jake, what do you got? Tell us who you are.
Jake Roy, 90s B-ball cards. I collect only modern basketball.
Fair enough. Sarcasm sometimes goes unnoticed, but we'll see how that plays out, considering you have a bunch of toys from the 90s behind you. Andrew Goldberg, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what your purpose on this planet is.
I am the new GM of the Las Vegas team, the Las Vegas expansion team. They hired me after a successful championship with the Warriors. Here I am to bring championships and money to the organization, and this is my first draft.
Wow. Player coach, no doubt. Rob, tell us about yourself. How are you going to draft in a fantasy basketball draft when all you know is Hulk Hogan and Mean Gene Okerlund?
What's going on, guys? Rob Gerard, sports card therapist, vintage over prospecting. That's where I'm at.
I got it, Rob. Okay. And then I'm Brian Dennison. I am Cajun Cardboard. I'm a part of the Luka Nation Network now. I've also got Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel. I'm Cajun_Cardboard. All I know is basketball. So if I lose, I should be ashamed because these fine guys collect other sports and understand everything about sports. And I only understand basketball, and only then on a very cursory level. Let's get real quick. Let's look at our rules. Wait until you see how in-depth and professional these graphics are. There they are. This is an interesting program you may never have heard of. It's called Excel. And so I've got a spreadsheet pulled up. There's our rules. That's it. There's 6 teams. There's 6 of us. We each have our own team. We're going to draft 10 players per team. You have to draft 4 guard eligible players, 4 forward eligible players, and then 2 centers, if those even exist in the NBA anymore. You have to start only 5 players, 2 guards, 2 forwards, and 1 center. And so when you guys are judging our rosters at the conclusion of this chaos, just remember we only have to start 5, and the purpose of the other 5 reserves is if one of our guys gets hurt, we can basically just pick our best 5 as long as we satisfy 2 guards, 2 forwards, and 1 center. Hopefully that makes sense. It is an 8-category true rotisserie league, so that's kind of what we're basing this on. The 8 categories are as follows below: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, threes made, field goal percentage, and free throw percentage. And then really the question is who's going to have the best starting 5 at the end of the season. And that's where you guys come in, you guys that are watching. It's going to be a long video, so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get cranking. I went ahead and did the pleasure of naming every one of these teams. They had no say whatsoever in the matter, and I decided to name everybody's team. Andrew is Kaboom Lover. Rob is the Hulkamaniacs for obvious reasons. Chris is PER over everything. There's an outside chance he just sorted the NBA.com PER list top to bottom and has got it set on auto draft. Jake is penny pinchers. For those of you who don't know, he's a penny super collector, just like the other gentleman, Josh, although I have sarcastically named him Ice Tray for president. If you don't know what that means, you need to watch some more of the crossover on Friday nights or mornings. I don't know what it is. It's very late. And then my team is named, of course, If Jordan Were Cajun. And let's get cranking. So we gave the first pick to Andrew because he knows the least about cards or sports. So, Andrew, you're up first. Let us know who your first pick is, and I'm going to do my best to be commissioner and master of ceremonies. Let's roll. Let's see who you got, Andrew.
So there's obviously a lot of people I could go with. You have Giannis, you have Steph, you have LeBron, an amazing crop of talent. And I'd like to thank all the people behind the scenes that help with this pick, data, analytics, all that stuff. Yeah. I'm going, and this might be a surprise, but I've learned from my co-host, don't pick based on past results. Pick on what someone could do for me today, and I'm going with Joel Embiid.
Whew. Okay. So the first pick of the draft is the worst pick of the draft. That's good. I'm going to type that in. Rob, you're up. You can keep cranking.
All right.
Any reason that you decided to go with somebody other than Jokic or Durant or Giannis or one of the players that's going to outperform Embiid? No? Nothing? Okay, Rob, you're up. Let's see it, Rob. What you got?
You know you want LeBron, Rob. Just go ahead and take him, man.
All right. 2 words.
Embiid's not a guard. Mr.
You don't have to take a guard. Very well. Let me be real clear on the rules again. You don't have to take this in order of position. So I put him there. You're right. He's not a guard. I see what you're doing there.
Sorry, laws of power. Not Robert Greene would not be happy, right?
There we go. You're good. Okay, we got Joel Embiid in there. Andrew's got Joel Embiid. The natives are restless with that pick already. Everybody's confused. They thought you were trying to put together the best team. Rob, you're up. Who you got, Rob? Hulkamaniacs on the clock.
Well, I think this pick is going to put a little bit of pressure on Chris to really show where his true love lies. But I'm gonna 2 words: Giannis.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Is that
so
2 words?
The question is, does he go? Is it Jokic or is it Luka?
Yeah, we put PER over everything on the clock. Chris, you gotta. Man, look, this is miserable for you. You want to pass?
Turn the clock off. This is the easiest thing ever. The reigning NBA fantasy champion for multiple years in a row, Nikola Jokic. We can just end this now. Just ship the trophy.
Fair enough. All right, penny pinchers. Jake, you're up, my friend.
All right. Well, I didn't think I'd have this many options. I was really hoping the Joker would slip to me, but PER. So I'm gonna go with the other guy in your home. I'm gonna go with Luka, the modern day penny.
Wow, nice. That's high praise coming from Jake.
All right, Josh, you're up.
All right, so the goal here is to create a team that's going to get the people excited. It's not about actually winning fantasy football. So with that, I'm taking LeBron.
He straight up chose a man of the people, the most collectible of the modern players. He chose LeBron James. All right, is LeBron a guard or a forward? What are we putting him at? Forward.
Both. He's
Which
everything.
one do you want him at? I'll let you. We can put him at whichever one. Josh, you want him at guard or forward? It's your call.
Forward.
Definitely not a guard.
Okay. Definitely not a guard. He's a point guard, for God's sakes. All right. So that means I have 2 in a row. So bear with me here. We've got LeBron off the list. Well, I've got to go. I've got to assume the best and hope for the best of health, hope for the best of the circus that's unfolding in Brooklyn. If I really wanted to blow people's minds, of course, I would never get any votes. I could take Kyrie and Durant. Boy, would that be a risk. But why don't I do this? Why don't I split that up? And since we're playing fantasy basketball, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant 1. And then since it's a snake draft, let me plug Durant in here. Whew, this is tough because I got to choose between 2 players I don't like and I don't trust. Whew, man. You know what?
Those aren't your only 2 options.
I know. It's the 2 best options, though. You know what? I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum, and I'm gonna take a little page out of Josh's book. There's a lot of hype beasts out there for my man Jason Tatum, so I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum. So I'm gonna go forward with my 2 picks.
Possibly the safest pick in the first round. Well, if he was a first rounder.
He likes to play, and he's gonna have to play a lot of games. So I avoided any chance with Kyrie or James Harden. I just don't know with them. So, all right. So we're on the back end of we're starting back on round 2. So Josh, back to you. Round 2. You got LeBron at the 4 position. Who you got?
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with the same theme, and I'm going to round out the top 2 players of this generation and draft Steph Curry.
I knew it. I knew it.
Josh is stealing votes. He's basically stealing votes.
No, that's a great team. That's an incredible start.
Wow, shot to my heart. All right, so I really don't want to do this, but he fills up the stat sheet, and I'll have to go with James Harden.
I like that pick. Did you consider Kyrie Irving? Was it tough to choose between those 2 guys, Jake, or you just easy choice?
No, I wanted Curry. So
fair enough. PER sorted highest to lowest.
Popularity. It's going to be hard to compete with Josh at this point, but we can.
Chris just disappeared from the stream. I don't know if he was asking Christina who he should take. I don't know if he was asking Mark Cuban the status of some of his players. Tim Hardaway Jr. is still available. Who you got, Chris?
I reached out to both of them, and the consensus pick is Ja Morant, the stat stuffing machine.
These crossover guys. They
savage.
Now, let me tell you something. Let's just take a brief little – give me time for a little diatribe here. I have heard you ad nauseum on the crossover bitch and complain about how Ja Morant's not efficient. He's not an 8-category guy. He doesn't produce in all the different categories, and you're going to take him because you're trying to steal fan votes. Is that fair?
He's still like 4 years away from his physical prime. I think he's going to ramp up. He's going to get better, and the guy stuffs the stat sheet.
Wow.
What more do you want?
He does. Well, I like it. I like to see you put your biases aside and take the player you think's the best player.
Well, I have a new bias now, which is winning.
Fair enough, MJ. My bad.
I think he took him 10th best player, right? So he was saying he's not like top 3. He took him number 10.
I know. I'm kidding. Yep. All right, Rob, you're up. Hulkamaniacs, it's your pick, man.
All right, brother. I'm going to go with LaMelo Ball.
No, he's injured.
Nope, too late. LaMelo Ball.
Well, hold up. He just got to phone a friend, and his friend told him.
We are his friends. We're his 5 friends in the hobby. Who's he going to phone? None of us are going to tell him the truth. Okay, LaMelo Ball goes.
It happened minutes ago.
Rob. What?
It happened minutes ago.
Hey, do your research, man. Do your research. He lost his left leg in a horrible boating accident last night, Rob. But I'm sure.
But the fans might vote for him. He might still be an all-star.
Thank you, Jake.
He tweaked his ankle. He's got 9 days to get it right. He's going to be fine. And it's not like the Charlotte Hornets are going to tank. It's not like there's any big prospect in this upcoming draft. I mean, he's going to play. They're trying to win games, right? I mean, every team's trying to win as many games as possible. We haven't seen any prospect. Kaboom lover, that's you, Andrew.
It's me. I'm going to go with my gut. I'll give you guys 2 picks. And I'm thinking of this as like a roster that is going to cause problems. And I'm going to go with Trey and Zion back to back.
Okay.
Damn, I wanted Trey.
I wanted Trey too, believe it or not.
I think he starts out the year very well. I hope he has that competitive edge to prove something this year, because last year they started out terrible. And Zion, he got me into the hobby. I'm a very loyal guy as a Capricorn, so I'm gonna dance with the one who brung you. I remember that was a political book back in the day.
That's really odd.
Dancing with the one who brung you, or being a Capricorn? Because one I don't control, the other's not my book.
Fair enough. So Zion, I guess, is obviously we got to throw him forward. He doesn't need a last name. There's only one of those. Okay. Hulkamaniacs, back to you, Rob. What you think?
Well, my next pick I'm basing strictly off the fact that he's a vegan like myself. So I'm going to go with Karl Anthony Towns.
I went vegan for a summer.
Nice pick, Rob. That's tough, man. The 3 best centers are gone. That's rough. PER over everything. Chris, it is your pick. You've got John Moran at the 1. You got Jokic at the 5. Great bookends. Guards and forwards are the needs right now. What you got?
All right. Well, we were talking about setting aside biases. Here's another bias I'm going to set aside, recency bias. Forget last year. The guy I'm taking is capable of scoring 50-plus points multiple times per week. His name is Damian Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers. You want to talk about efficiency? You want to talk about deadly scoring capability? Now my guards are complete.
Brian, I know that hurts, man. I know that
it does hurt.
Brian.
It hurts, right? It's a filthy backcourt right there. That hurts. But what can I do, man? I drafted last. As a courtesy to you guys, I put myself in the 6th position. So, you reap what you sow. Penny pinchers, Jake, you're up. You're on the clock. You've got a filthy backcourt with Doncic and Harden. You need some bigs. What are you going to work with here?
Yeah, so my guards are set. So I think this team's going to be punting on free throw percentage. But I'm going to secure my defense and go with Gobert.
Wow.
Nice.
There's been a run on centers. I might get stuck with Drew Eubanks. Ice tray for president. Josh, you are up. You got Curry and LeBron. Good Lord. That's trouble. Talk to me. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm deciding who I think you're going to take, Brian. So I've got my 2 guys. I just got to think about which one you might snatch. Well, you need guards, so I'm going to take a guard. And I'm going to go for the hometown homer pick, Devin Booker.
Nice. Yeah.
I like that pick. That's tough. It was certainly something that I was considering. Almost everybody is set at center except for me and Josh. I figured Josh is going to gank me on the way back down, but that's okay. I'm going to go with, speaking of putting biases to the side, I'm going to go with Flat Earther, Kyrie Irving. And I'm going to go with, can I play? I guess he's a forward. I'll go with, you know what? I'm going to go with the fantasy darling. Maybe the hottest sleeper, breakout, bust, super freaky thing fantasy guy this year. I'm going to go with Tyrese Halliburton and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to get votes for that Tyrese Halliburton, but I'll get the votes of the fantasy lovers out there. They'll know what I'm doing
Can
here.
you show the Western Conference some love? Maybe at your center position there, or you just stay in all Eastern Conference, Brian?
Are there any centers in the East?
That's a good question.
There's one, Joel Embiid, but
He's down.
yanked already. So that's where we're at. Okay, so I've got 4. We're coming back on round 4, going back towards the top. Josh, you're up. Curry, Booker, LeBron. That's nasty. That's filthy. You need some bigs. What you got?
Well, everyone else already has center, so I'm just going to wait on center since you guys are – none of these guys are going to take center again. They got to fill their starting spots, so I'll just wait. And I pick again before you, Brian. So I've got an extra spot to take. I'm going to go Kawhi Leonard.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, my God.
No, we lost
Big
Andrew.
claw collector up there. Big claw collector.
Oh, God, you're tip of the hat to you, Josh. Whatever you're doing.
Proud owner of a Kawhi Innovation BGS 9 rookie card or something. Penny pinchers, Jake.
Look at
you're
that
up.
lineup.
Huh?
Boy.
It's
Look at
nasty.
that lineup.
I know, but what you guys don't understand is I've backed Josh into a corner. He's got to take Anthony Davis at center coming back up. He's got
No,
to
he's
take
going to get Capella.
He's got to take that risk. He's
Your
got to take
fifth
that
best
risk.
player is an MVP candidate. Jeez.
I know, but nobody wants him. It doesn't mean anything. Nobody wants him on their team. You immediately lose fan votes if you put Anthony Davis on your team. We've learned that from the hobby. Pay attention, man. You do something. You do a show every day.
It's
Penny
not a
pinchers.
surprise he built the tech platform of Card Ladder now. It makes a lot of sense.
Penny pinchers,
Boy.
Jake, you're up.
Not a lot of fan favorite options left. I need a forward too, but I'm not gonna force it. But I think I can slot this guy in a forward. I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards.
It's a gamble. I like it,
It's a little bit of a risk.
but it's smart. It's smart. I can't.
I didn't realize the volume of threes he shot last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we watch the highlights and we try to watch Timberwolves games, but there wasn't a lot on TV last year. That dude is getting up the three ball. I did not realize how many he took. Interesting. That's a good pick, though. I like it. And we know he's going to play a ton. That's one of those teams, guys. Tell me if I'm crazy, but I think that's one of those teams that's going to try to win as many regular season games as possible. Do y'all get that vibe like the Suns a few years ago? Like, it's proving time. Like, they're going to try to win as many as possible. Do y'all get that vibe with them?
The question is, who's the ball going to go through, him or Cat?
Oh, I think it's going through Anthony Edwards. Yeah. PER over everything. Chris, you're up, my man.
All right, so I've got a lot of offense, but we know that blocks and steals and defense count as well in fantasy basketball. But I don't want to totally give up offense for defense either. So I'm going to take the two-way king, maybe the top two-way player in the game, Paul George. Slot him in forward.
You misspoke. You just said that Paul George was maybe the top two-way player in the game. I'm going to let that one slide. You and I both know. We both collect the guy who's the top two-way player in the game, Chris. But I get it. You're trying to hype up Paul George and get your votes. I see what you're doing. You're a true politician.
I didn't know you collected James Harden.
Hulkamaniacs, Rob, you're up. You got LaMelo. You got Giannis. You got Cat.
Listen, I'm going with another guy that's got a lot of hype. I'm going with my second guard, Kade Cunningham.
A lot of people think he's going to take a bigger jump than anybody in fantasy basketball this year. Rob,
this is fantasy, right?
This is fantasy.
There is fantasy points included, right? Like it's aggregate.
It is a rotisserie where there are 8 categories, and you try to finish as high as you can in each category. And so we've gone through the 8 categories. Are you trying to rewrite the rules, or are you legitimately asking?
Are you a fantasy?
I'm looking myself in the mirror, and I'm shocked what I'm about to do. That's what's happening here because I have to compete with Josh, and I'm going to go with Ben Simmons.
Ooh. Free throw percentage was a category. I don't know if
my heart just dropped. Oh my god. I'm okay.
You're not winning any.
He's not a guard. He's not a guard. He's a forward.
Okay, well, he's a point guard, so we're going to put him at guard since he's the only position he's ever played. How about that? Why don't we put him at guard since that's the only position he's ever played from day one in the NBA?
Can I get a vote? He's a forward.
Anybody on here who thinks Ben Simmons is a forward, raise your hand. There you go. All right, that's Ben Simmons. You got 2. It's a snake draft, and we're coming back up. Hopefully Ben Simmons will take less than 1 free throw a game, so it won't hurt you too bad. You want to pick Rick Barry to kind of offset Ben Simmons, or what do you want to do at forward?
Mark Price is on the board.
Mark Price. Kyle Macy.
According to Google, Ben Simmons is a small forward.
Wow. He is 6'8", so.
He's 6'10".
Wow, he grew.
So are most of the guards now in the NBA, it seems like, doesn't it? Except for Trae Young, sorry. Do you want to put Ben Simmons at forward, or do you want to put him at guard?
I want him at forward, and I want Darius Garland as my second guard.
All right. For 2 is not bad. Good job. All right. First starting lineup is complete. Trae Young, Darius Garland, Ben Simmons, Zion, and Embiid. That's stout. That's stout, Andrew. Hulkamaniacs, we're coming back in round 5, pick number 2, and you're up and you're on the clock. LaMelo Ball, Kade Cunningham, youth movement there. 2-time MVP Giannis, and then All-NBA performer Karl Anthony Towns, self-promoted greatest big man shooter of all time, self-promoted. You need a forward.
All right, so I think for my second forward, I'm going to go DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar. Okay.
Hoping for a repeat of last year's massive step forward. We've got DeMar DeRozan.
By the way, the Will Ferrell Drake commercial back in the day with DeMar DeRozan is still all time.
I don't remember that one.
I don't know.
I don't remember that one either.
It's worth a few minutes. It's hilarious. Drake and Will Ferrell, State Farm with DeMar DeRozan.
Okay. We got DeMar DeRozan. Chris, you're back up, man. You're back up. You got a forward, a real pensive look on your face, real thoughtful.
Oh, yeah.
John Morant, Dame Lillard in the backcourt, excitement galore. Paul George, one of the top 50 best two-way players in the NBA. Jokic, PER champion, 2-time reigning MVP at center. You've got no weaknesses. You're up. You need a forward.
Look, I'm going to try and level the playing field for you guys because honestly, if we were doing a fantasy season, it's probably already over. Just kind of looking at my lineup and looking at what you guys have, it's not really going to be close. So I'm going to do one for the people. I'm going to do one for the fans out there, for the hobbyists. I'm going to take a dark horse. He is ranked 32nd on the fantasy rankings that I'm looking at right now. So he's not super low or anything. He could have a breakout season. Some are saying he's like a mini Kawhi Leonard. Others are saying he's just a unicorn unto himself. Scotty Barnes of the Toronto Raptors, rookie of the year. Look for him to have a breakout second year and put the icing on the cake of my fantasy championship.
It's a versatile team.
You said unicorn. I thought you were going with Bull there.
Yeah, Bull or KP or something. Yeah.
Can I have my vote back? No, I'm kidding.
All right, penny pinchers. Jake, you're up. Doncic and Harden, 2 ball dominant, get everybody else involved guards that can also score. Anthony Edwards, super phenom, super ultra modern prospect. Rudy Gobert, and at forward in round 5, your choice is.
Not going to get the fans too excited, I don't think. Well, maybe the West Coast fans, but I'm going to go with the son of Hall of Famer Arvydas Sabonis.
Yep, that's a good pick. A lot of people will be sleeping on him because he's not the sexiest prospect in the world from a card collecting standpoint, but the dude's filthy in fantasy, and he's fantastic, and he's going to take a huge step forward.
He's got sex appeal.
Well,
that's what I'm drafting based on.
Yeah, it's in the eye of the beholder. It depends on your perspective. Ice tray for president. Josh, you are up. Your team's preposterous and loaded, and I've backed you into a corner. Do you want me to just start typing?
Yeah, finish it out.
Okay.
Type it out.
Good. Okay.
So
you do get 2 centers, and so maybe you can count his 7 games that he plays, and then you can get 74 games from center number 2. Anthony Davis is Josh. I have a feeling you're going to go back to center on your next pick, which wouldn't be a bad idea probably. But look, when you get to this point, Josh, it's like we're in round 5, and you're backed into a corner, and the clear-cut 4 best centers, throwing health out the window or off the board, you take the next best available guy with the most upside, and he might have more upside than a couple of guys that are already chosen.
Did you draft him or did I?
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to make you feel good.
Well, I thought we were gonna get like a minute to talk about it. You're gonna do it for me.
Well, I got a minute. Now you get a minute. Tell me about Anthony Davis. Tell me your thoughts on Anthony Davis if they were different than what I just said.
So then I'll make your next pick. You are going to take, let's see, let's scroll down a couple pages. Andre Drummond, perfect. Nice pick.
Hold on. There's something about Andre Drummond that Chris knows that we've discussed on group chat. Andre Drummond is a top 50 PER player of all time.
I think I backed you into a corner there.
Yeah, well, I'm not that far in the corner, but I do have to make a choice here. And really, I guess I don't theoretically have to take a center, but let's scratch out Anthony Davis. I'll go ahead and make 2 choices here. Even though he's on a new team and not in a great situation, at least not in as great a situation as he was last year playing for a G League team in San Antonio, I'm going to take, and we'll just go a little bit out of order here. I'm going to go DeJounte Murray here.
Oh, you're killing me.
Phenom. And then I think I'm stuck with this center. I don't think there's really – I could take Miles Turner, but I'm not going to get any fan love for Miles Turner, even though he is, I guess he leads the NBA in blocks, or he's at least top 3 and likely going to be top 3 again. I could go Ayton, but he don't really block shots. I'm going to go with Bam Adebayo as my center. I think he's going to have a bounce-back year. I think a lot of people are talking about everybody else in the East and how the East is very top-heavy and the Heat are kind of being slept on. I'm going to go Bam Adebayo on the new and improved Heat. So Bam's going to be my choice to round out my centers. I really did a number on myself, giving myself the 6th pick. That really did not work out real well. All right, we're going back now. Josh, you're up. You can pick anything you want. Here's the canvas is blank.
All right, so I currently, if I'm looking at all-time PER rankings, I think you got the team names wrong. Mine's the PER team. All-time PER rankings, I've got number 2 with LeBron, number 4 with Anthony Davis. I've got number 20 with Steph Curry. I've got 25 with Kawhi. Booker's nowhere to be seen. I'm going to keep the theme going of guys that definitely aren't going to play 82 games, but big names. and older players. I'm going to take Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Here's the
12.
issue.
Number
And I
12
hope that
all time.
I hope the audience is able to price this in because you guys are sophisticated out there. It's not what you've done for me in the past. It's what you can do for me today and this season. Please keep that in mind when voting.
Yeah, make sure you understand that because Ben Simmons definitely hasn't done anything recently.
Or ever. That intro that Brian gave for me could be applied to Ben Simmons.
All potential.
We'll see. I'm high on Ben Simmons this year. Not in the PPG category or the free throw percentage category, but that guy's got something to prove. We'll see if he can get on the court and do it. Josh, I was having a hard time between Chris Paul and DeJounte Murray. I just went with the guy that I thought would probably play the most games. Chris Paul, yeah, I mean, that's a toss-up right there. That's tough, man. It's tough between those two guys. But good pick. Good pick. Penny pinchers. Jake, you're up. What you got, man?
Yeah, I don't like my options here. You took my guy in DeJounte. You will have to pay for that later. But anyway, so I'm going to go with, just to stick it to you, the guy that you were thinking about, I'm going to go with Miles Turner.
Yeah.
Another guy that used to play in Indiana. Well, he's still in Indiana, but him and Sabonis used to be front court mates. Anyway,
Maybe not long for Indiana. We'll see. I'm not sure why Indiana hasn't just gone into super mega tank mode right now because they should, because they got no chance to do anything. And this is the year. If you're going to tank, this is the year to do it.
What about Halliburton? Halliburton I don't know.
I mean, what about him? He's young.
He's young.
Be a Finals MVP. It takes more than one, and it takes more than Halliburton for sure. Chris, PER guy. PER number 2. PER 2.0, we'll call you.
Look, I don't know how this guy slipped this far in our draft because he's number 14 on ESPN's projections. He's forecasting to average 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists per game on efficient shooting splits. And you can go ahead and throw in a block and a steal per game as well. This is the steal of the draft without a doubt. This guy shouldn't even be coming off of the bench, but he will be. Pascal Siakam, once again, of the Toronto Raptors.
Overrated.
That's exactly who I was going to pick.
You just put together at forward, because I think he's actually center eligible as well, which is weird.
Is he really? Wow.
No.
He is.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's center and power forward.
He's center. He's forward center on some list. I don't remember him ever playing center, but apparently he did.
When I draft Draymond as my center, we'll talk.
There you go.
Team chemistry.
Great team chemistry. He would be a perfect fit on your team with Ben Simmons. One of them will be dead by the end of the season. Hulkamaniacs. Rob, you're up, man. What you got?
All right. I'm going to butcher his name, but I'm going with Nikola Vujacic at center.
Got it. Heard it pronounced any number of ways, so don't feel bad. Vujacic.
It's better than David Stern did in all of those pronunciations.
Okay.
So.
No one really
I'm going to
knows.
go. So I'm going to go with Wiseman as my next center.
Ooh,
With who?
Wiseman. James Wiseman.
it's a wise pick.
Wiseman. He's on the Warriors Cajun Cardboard. He has never played a game as similar to Ben Simmons.
Oh, he's
A lot of upside, not a good track record. And with my next pick, I'm deciding between Jalen Brown and Donovan Mitchell. And I think they're kind of, similar. I think the Celtics overachieved. I don't love what's happening with them in the offseason. I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell.
Fair enough.
Get a little extra boost in the playoffs.
A little bit, yeah.
Donovan Mitchell Wiseman. All right. New environment. Not worried at all about his usage rate going down on a better team in Cleveland. No issues. Little issues. Maybe his field goal percentage and free throw percentages go up. You never know. Okay. Hulkamaniacs. Rob, you're up, man. Back at you.
All right. Power forward. I don't know how this guy is still available. I have a lot of faith in him. I've seen him have some incredible games last season. I'm going with Julius Randle.
Ooh.
I just bought a PSA 10 of his for $9. Rookie
is
on
ruthless
PWCC.
and cutthroat to say right after somebody drafted
That
him
is
in
really terrible.
in the seventh round of a draft to say something like that to another grown man. Is
We're talking
I've said
investments.
way worse in my day, but Rob, I apologize.
I
Who's,
just paid
I meant
someone to
nothing by
take a PSA 10 Ben Simmons, so
Rob, I
paid
just got
Ben
Julius Randle's
$9.
gold prison for $1.75. All right, PER. Chris, over everything. You are up coming off a Pascal Siakam as your first player in your second unit as a backup to Scotty Barnes, his teammate, and Paul George. Who you got?
Let's go. So I need to live up to my name. I chose the PER winner of the regular season already. Let me take the PER winner of the playoffs from last year. This guy shines in the playoffs, but he's pretty darn good in the regular season as well. Projecting to average 21, 6, and 6, plus 2 steals and half a block. His name is
Jimmy Buckets.
Sorry,
Damn it.
Have you seen his hair recently, Chris? Did that weigh into your decision?
That pushed it over the edge. That definitely pushed it over the edge.
From a
That
jealousy
is real
standpoint,
hair.
or just from
Definitely from a gel. You don't think I could do that too if I wanted to?
he is the polar opposite of you, follically.
Yeah.
All right, penny pinchers. Jake, you are up. What you got, Jake?
All right. Well, I was looking at Jimmy Butts. So again, my guys keep getting sniped. I'm gonna go with Jalen Brown. Keep the defense alive.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn. I was really banking on Jimmy Butler right there. I'm scrambling. Looking for big names. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to go for Bill Simmons' favorite player of all time, Evan Mobley.
No kidding. He needs to relax with that, man. I'm with you.
Put him at center for now. I might switch him later.
That's a good
depending on
call. Okay, hang on. I'm scratching names out on here. All right. All right, so I got back-to-back. Give me a second here because I've been working these lists. Oh, my gosh. I do not want to take the white Anthony Davis, but I think I might have to. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Marketing?
The real unicorn.
The real unicorn. Thank you. The original unicorn.
You're not taking Porzingis.
I'm a risk-averse person, so I'm going to have to pass, but I'm just worried. It's like at some point, Steven Adams is going to be staring me in the face. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with that. There's only 2 center spots left, so I guess I don't need to rush it here. It's just me and Chris, which I can't believe Chris hasn't taken Desmond Bane. I know he loves efficient people. Man, I got some Bucks staring me in the face. That's hard to look past. DeAndre.
Dude, Robert Williams is still available. Is that not a play?
No, not for me. It's not my style. Oh, man, this is tough. I'm taking more time than I wanted.
Take your time.
I'm going to go with Bradley Beal because he's going to put up crazy numbers until that franchise realizes they're supposed to tank. So I'm going to go with Beal here as my guard.
Get something against me at the 8th seed in the East.
What's that? I think there's no chance they finish 8th in the East. No.
I think they want to tank. I think he just doesn't want to leave, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I need a forward, and I've got a lot of guards on.
How great would Beal be with Luka?
He would be a perfect fit with Luka. I'm with you.
He'd be great anywhere.
He'd be great anywhere, man. He's malleable, man. He's a off the ball guy that could be an on the ball guy.
Love to see him in Orlando. That'd be beautiful. Imagine him in that blue jersey.
Well,
all right. I'm going to go with Brandon Ingram. I'm going to go with Brandon Ingram as my forward.
Shitballs. 2 times in a row, sniped.
Yeah. Well,
what's your reasoning on Ingram?
Josh, I'm looking at my list, and like the next 10 available are guard, Porzingis, guard, and I had to choose between him and the guy that you're probably going to take it forward right now. So we'll see. If you don't take him and he comes back to me, I'm going to take him with my next one. But my guess is he's probably squarely on your radar as well. But I got guards everywhere. I've got guards everywhere, and there's 2 centers left, so I feel no reason to take the next center when I'm fine with either one of the 2 centers.
Yeah. Well, I might as well keep the homer picks going. Much better fantasy player, I think, than actual player. Mikal Bridges.
Wow, nice.
I'm a fan.
Get those defensive stats up.
Okay.
He was phenomenal.
Any pitchers, Jake? It's back to you, my friend.
All right. I'm going to go with a guy. I'm expecting good things coming back from injury. He was a gem in the bubble. I'm going to go with Jamal Murray.
Yeah. You know, that's who I was choosing between him and Beal. I just went with the guy who I knew was the sure thing. They're still talking about Jamal Murray like sitting back-to-backs and nursing. The dude has been out like freaking 20 months. What is the deal? Did he not just tear his ACL? Doesn't that happen all the time now? I don't understand.
Back.
What's going on with him?
He tore it at an inconvenient time. He tore it like at the end of the bubble, so he missed all of last year.
The bubble's like half a decade ago. What are we talking about here? The Lakers were good in the bubble. You know how long ago that is?
Wow.
Kawhi tore his knee also, and it's a process.
Yeah. Well, I love Jamal Murray. I've still got hordes of Jamal Murray optic base PSA 9s and 10s, so I'm all for it, man. I hope he has a great year so I can get $200 to go buy some real cards. Let's see. PER over everything. Chris, it's back to you. You got that void at the center position staring you in the face, but you may have the same perspective I have. Why take one when it's just me and you left? And yeah, your call.
Well, look, this will prove that I'm playing with my mind and I'm not using my heart to make these decisions, because this guy ripped the heart out of my team by leaving us in free agency over the summer. But I also saw him score an unfathomable, 40-plus points in round 1 to almost single-handedly carry the Mavericks over the Utah Jazz. So you are correct, sir, although you should give that guy to me, not to Jake. Jalen Brunson is my choice.
Wow.
I'll take him. I mean, it's all right.
Who did I miss on you, Jake? Did I miss somebody or did I get it right?
Jamal Murray?
You got it right.
Yeah, you got him.
Why is that guy yellow? Why you got to do Jalen Brunson like that?
I got him in yellow because you gave a long speech about him, and he's just a really important part of your team. All right, Jalen Brunson. I was just proud of myself that I knew right when the word came out of your mouth.
You did.
Yeah, so I like that pick. A lot of people think he's going to be a fantasy darling this year. Super efficient, good percentages. He's going to have to overcome the curse of the Knicks of nobody ever being any good when they go there. But if anybody can do it, he can do it. I got to coach against him in the EYBL. He was ridiculous. We couldn't figure it out. We're like, who the hell is he? I mean, he was on the radar, but he wasn't like Booker or any of these other guys. But he was just this little dumpy little kid who couldn't jump and didn't look like the quickest, but he just kept getting buckets over and over. And we're like, shit, get out there and guard the guy. What is the problem? Freaking get out there and put your hands on him and guard him. And he was just slippery, man. He was a great player in high school as well. Really good player in high school. And obviously his college accolades are big time. So Jalen Brunson goes to Chris's PER over everything. Hulkamaniacs, Rob, you're up. You got 3 spots left. Guard forward.
I'll keep it short and simple. Drew Holiday.
I like it. I like it.
So, I mean, it's obvious if we're like fielding like a 5-on-5 roster, ice tray for president, that no one wants to meet him. But this is fantasy. And I'm going to go with the 2 up-and-comers. I'm going to go with Franz Wagner as my forward, and I'm going to go with Jordan Poole as my guard.
That guy can take a punch.
Sure can.
Not really. I mean, the guy
Apparently.
dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Rob says no, he can't. Rob's the wrestling guy here. Rob would know. If he could take a punch, Rob would know.
Did he get knocked out? Have we confirmed? Did he get knocked unconscious?
It didn't look good.
He just dropped.
It didn't look good.
Rob, you're a WWE guy, right?
No, I'm WWF.
Sorry, my apologies. When a video like that comes out, do you feel it could be a little scripted? Like we've talked about the NBA being scripted for a long time. Dre to the Lakers.
Definitely not. I don't think so, man. No one looked good in that video. I mean, everyone looked bad. The organization looked bad.
Yeah, that was a
Draymond
disaster.
Green looked bad. Jordan Poole looked bad. Everyone just looks bad. There were no winners in that.
So just a leak. We just leaked the video for like $50K.
whatever
Definitely.
dentist that Jordan Poole goes to, that's the winner. And we don't want to talk about dentists on this show. Chris,
No.
don't even get started on that.
Do the dentists control the NBA as well?
Do you think a dentist arranged for his teeth to be knocked out? It's not out of the question.
It's not.
No.
I mean, you just never see videos like that leak, and if it leaks, you think you could find that person in a day.
Well, I
I'm
bet in the 90s, if we had the technology we do now, we'd be seeing some Steve Kerr punch-out videos. You know,
That was the grainiest ass footage I've ever seen. Look at Belichick was in the stands.
Hulkamaniacs, Rob, you back up, man. Coming off of Drew Holiday. Luckily, you weren't going to take Poole or Wagner because your team's too good. So nobody took your next pick. So who you got? Anything you want?
You know what? I think I'm going to go with Evan Mobley.
Already taken. No?
Was he?
yeah, he was taken.
Was. I
Bill
typed him in.
Simmons.
Yeah, Josh took him. Josh took him at his second center position.
Let's talk trade.
Ah, okay. My fault. I'm going to go with Fred VanVleet.
There you go.
A lot of miles on those tires.
I think you're thinking of the original Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry. This is the new Fred VanVleet. PER over everything. Chris, you're up. You need a center. I'm playing a game of chicken with you at that center spot. And you're gone.
So, are you going to let me move Siakam to center if I want to?
Sure.
Don't
You
do
probably
it yet.
should.
I'm not sure yet, but just leave him.
Cheat code. Chris with the cheat code.
There we go. Okay, so Rob just made my choice easy because I was going to go with Van Fleet and have 3 Raptors, but since I can't do that, I'm going to go with a personal favorite of mine. Saw him give my team 44 points last year effortlessly. Playing alongside the son of Arvydas Sabonis is going to make him, I think, really shine this year. De'Aaron Fox is my last guard.
Yep. I like that. I like that.
Gary Vee likes him
Penny
too,
Pinchers.
so you're in good company.
Yeah. Have y'all watched Keegan Murray? Dude, he looks legit. He looks fantastic. If they start Harrison Barnes in front of Keegan Murray, I give up. I just give up with the Sacramento Kings. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're trying to do. They finally get it right in the draft, and they're going to suppress the prospect and make him watch Harrison Barnes go out there and do absolutely ordinary pedestrian things. I don't get it. Penny Pinchers. Jay.
Oh boy, yeah, I really don't know where to go with this pick. Let's see. Looking at 2 guys. I'm gonna continue with the theme of guys coming back from injury and go with Middleton.
Fair enough. Okay. Cash money. Nobody's got any problems with that. That was my next pick, but I forgive you. Josh.
Josh has 3 Suns players.
Yep.
And Ayton's still on the board.
I also have guys that make threes. Let's see. I'm going to take – I don't know who else is going to score or do anything on this team because their brand new number 2 pick is out for the season. So I'm going to take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Lord Shea. Oh, man.
Good pick. Yep.
Smart.
Yep. I was fiddling between Beal and SGA 2 rounds ago. That's a great pick, man. In the 9th round, that's nuts, man. That's a really good pick because he's fantasy gold. I know he's a little bit tweaked right now, a little bit banged up. They think he's going to be ready for the start of the season. Okay, it comes to me. Let's see. So I have to find a forward. Middleton was my forward, but he was stolen from me very rudely. So, good Lord, I'm way down the list on forwards. All right. Oh, this is going to sound crazy. This is the guy that I've been overhyping the entire season. Well, first, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to take Deandre Ayton as my backup center, who might be better than my starting center that I took 5 rounds ago. I don't know. I think they're probably what and what. At forward, why am I so many pages down here? Whew. I got 2 up-and-comer guys that I've got to choose between. And I could go – neither one of these are going to be very exciting for the people that are voting on these rosters. They're not going to like these 2 choices. But I am going to go with who I think is going to be the leading scorer in Utah this year. I'm going to go with Lauri Markkanen. Yes. That name has not been uttered. It's like he who shall not be named in the hobby. He hasn't been talked about in years and years, but he's playing for the G League Jazz, and I just think he's got to get a lot of shots up. Otherwise, they're not going to score 100 points ever. So
last time he was talked about, his card was getting ripped up.
What's that?
I said last time I heard him getting talked about, his card was getting ripped up.
Yeah. He's had an eventful time in the NBA, and being asked to play the wing position at 7 foot is pretty interesting. Not the most fleet-footed dude in the league. Back to Josh. Josh, last pick. You got a forward. You're probably choosing the choice that I just had to make. So Lauri Markkanen was my choice. Probably not the same choice you would make, but who you got? Tell us who you're choosing between.
No, I'm pretty zeroed in on a guy. I'm just making sure someone else didn't take him because I don't understand how he's fallen this far.
It's probably the guy I'm looking at too.
This is the best fantasy player on this team. No disrespect to DeMar DeRozan, but Zach LaVine. I'm putting him in at forward. He's a sniper from 3. Very efficient player.
Hold on. How are we putting Zach LaVine at forward?
Because he's a forward.
He's like a small forward.
Zach LaVine is a guard? No. I mean, I would have put Zach LaVine at forward
as well. He's listed as guard or small forward.
Oh, I've never seen him listed at forward.
I was going to grab LaVine too for my forward position.
Lonzo's 1, DeMar's a 2, and LaVine's the 3, and Vujicic is like
Lonzo's already out. Lonzo's out already.
Lonzo's out. He's out for good.
Right, but like that's how they lined up. Is my point.
Yeah, they're
Kobe White time.
Caruso
Kobe White.
Yeah. Okay.
Kobe
Kenny
White cards are
Panthers.
so cheap. It's actually amazing.
That is.
Oh boy. Well, if it wasn't for fan voting, I would take a gamble and roll the dice on Russ, but I'm not going to do that. The fans would hate that.
You just took me out of last place. If you take Russ, you're really saving my ass from being 6th.
I'm debating between Bane and Green, but I think I'm going to go with a young guy, see what he does in his second year. So Jalen Green.
Got it. Oh, wow. It's like they knew. They made his font smaller. What's the deal with that?
Wow.
I like that pick. I like Jalen Green.
Jalen
More than
Green,
Kevin
yeah.
Porter Jr.?
All right, Brian, I will move Siakam to center, please.
Fair.
What a ridiculous thing to
Just
do.
remember, I'm letting Zach LaVine play forward, which he doesn't play, and I'm really nice to these card ladder folks. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Zach LaVine actually plays forward. The GM on the Raptors just didn't have a center, so they played.
Hey, I'm just look. I don't want to violate any rules. ESPN lists him as a power forward and a center.
He does.
Okay,
He does. No, he does. You're
Okay,
good.
all
You're
right.
good. You're good.
So then that leaves my choice between the number 1 overall pick this year, which is a very risky pick, or a super conservative pick in Andrew Wiggins. And I'm going to roll the dice. Give me the number 1 pick, Paolo Banchero.
That's the right decision.
I think that was the right decision too.
Go
I think
Magic.
he's got to be the alpha, right? I mean, is he not the best player day one that he sets foot on the court for Orlando? I'm thinking.
Have you seen Franz play?
Have
Probably
you seen
not. You
Bol
don't watch
Bol?
the games.
I have. I've also seen Paolo Banchero do stuff in the preseason Franz won't ever do. Banchero's legit, man. Banchero's the real
Bol's
deal.
looking
Day
good
one.
in those shooting drills, though.
Yeah, and look, when you got to give a soliloquy before you take your picks, Andrew, that means there's something wrong with the pick. If you've got
Give me a sec. Let me search
your
what that
pick-
word means.
Okay.
Soliloquy.
Sorry, I thought you had Cage just off stage left to define everything for you when people use big words. No, okay. Hulkamaniacs, Rob, you're up, my man.
Andrew's like, listen, you're using a bunch of big words, so I'm gonna take that as disrespect.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth and help me with this sale.
Has every Raptor starting 5, every Raptor except OG Anunoby been taken? Who would have thought?
Listen,
Who would've
I'm gonna
guessed?
go with what might be the most boring pick in the draft. I'm gonna go with Chris Middleton.
Already gone.
Yeah.
Is he?
Gone.
What are you doing over there? You keep taking other picks, man.
Jake took him. You know what? You should take Doncic.
Yeah, Luka's available.
You know what? I think I want to move Drew Holiday to forward. I want to take a page out of Chris's book.
This is the Cardboard Chronicles rules. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep taking tiny people and playing them at center.
Drew's a point guard.
Let's see.
Thanks,
Okay,
Andrew.
fine.
Finally, we
I'll
agree
go
on
with Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis.
Okay. The running
You guys
back for the
remember when
Broncos.
Bobby Portis and Mirotic got in a fight and Bobby Portis broke Miricic's jaw? And we
Yes.
stopped talking about that like half a day later.
Yeah.
I'm going to go same route. I'm going to round out my team with leadership, poise, tenacity, and defense. Draymond Green.
There it is. There it is.
Easy.
Two guys drafted consecutively at the end of the draft that have broken people's faces, punched their own teammates in the face. What are the odds
Well,
of that?
Charles Oakley doesn't play in the league anymore. We need some enforcers.
Think about that message to the other team. If I'm willing to do that to my guys, what do you think I would do to you?
It's true.
Send in a message. All right, tell me about your team, Andrew. 30 seconds or less.
Man, I was high when I drafted this.
Make your
team.
pitch. This is your pitch to the people. This is your pitch to the people about why you have the best roster.
I lost control. It got out of hand, but this is my first year, and I think year two I'll be way more poised under pressure. I'm still proud of my guys. I know they could all overachieve, and the season starts today. Let's get to work.
Okay, I just renamed your team. All right, next, Rob.
Adam Real 27 guys are gonna love it. I'm scoring
Okay,
points with all the right people.
Yeah, Andrew, I don't know how you ended up with Trey Young and Zion in your starters, but so I got the best player in the NBA. I got Giannis. I got the youngest and the best talent in the NBA with LaMelo and Cade Cunningham. And I'm just ready to rock and roll, baby. Hulk Maniacs.
If you've got a healthy starting five, that's a nasty starting five. I will admit. Like you got some studs in the backcourt, some babies, man, that are both going to take huge steps forward, and then you got Giannis. You got our guy Giannis. Everybody could agree on him. All right, Rob. Chris, talk to us.
I think you could just name my team. Somehow Jokic fell to the third pick, and that's going to explain the outcome of this season. But as I look around, you know, everybody's got a really cool team, and there's like themes to these teams that almost reflect the personality of the people who drafted them. So great job voting, everybody. Yeah, I'm the junior Raptors out here. Let's go.
Penny Pinchers, Jake.
Oh boy, yeah, I got a bunch of guys that just stuff stats sheets, and that's what you're looking to do in fantasy. And you know, any weaknesses that are there for guys like Harden are made up by other guys like Gobert. So I think we're a pretty well-rounded squad.
Fair
Ball
enough.
at the end of the game, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 point game. Harden or Luka gets the ball.
Oh, Luka.
Well, whichever one has it, the other one's not getting it, so we know that. But I give that ball to Luka. I give it to Luka all day, every day. Yeah. Josh, thoughts on your team?
All right. My team is clearly the best on paper. If you were going to just build a team and not look at fantasy, my team is pretty insane. I don't know if you could even possibly beat this roster in a real NBA setting where everyone's healthy. I've got some injury-prone guys, but since this isn't real fantasy, it looks great on paper. I mean, that team is loaded. At least I don't have Ben Simmons on my team.
You definitely
That's
have the
what I was gonna
oldest
say.
team. You have the oldest team for sure. The average age is like 42.
Oldest but most accomplished, I think. Oldest but
Yeah.
most accomplished. It's one of those things where if his team can hold the pieces together and everybody can stay healthy, it's a serious problem. Like that's the all-name team for sure. That's the all-name team for sure. And you stole the words right out of the mouth. At least I don't have Bobby Portis or Simmons. I mean, that's really all I can say. I'm not going to win this thing. So I got stuck with the 6th pick, and I'm the commissioner. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I thought maybe I was being super sneaky and I was going to get the double on the snake, but it backfired because y'all took the 5 best players, and I ended up with Flat Earth and then, Durant and Tatum. I don't even like my team. I don't even like my guys. I would hit the record button and just turn this thing off. I'm so mad right now. But
The reality is you've been watching Victor Wanyama highlights all day.
I got beat by an NFT guy. I got beat by a guy who knows the 90s. I got beat by a wrestling guy.
Go ahead. Finish that out. Go ahead.
I'll give up. I'm not even going to ask the people for their votes because I know I got beat down.
Chris, he's got no insult for us.
I mean, if I'd have known Kyrie Irving could be a center, I'd have put him at center and not taken Bam out of bio. I didn't know that we were playing by the Chronicles rules.
Brian, you lost to a guy who's follically challenged.
Yes, multiple follically challenged guys beat me, man. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. Next year, this is my vow to you 5 guys and the people watching the video. Next year, I'm going to have impeccable audio and visual. We're going to have amazing graphic overlays. There's going to be freaking explosions when Devin Booker's taken, and then like a big thing on Devin Booker. His family's going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. So next year, I'm going to be top notch. Even for Louisiana, I'm going to have top notch professional video graphic overlays. It's going to be amazing. It's going to look like the card. I'm going to steal Chris's brother. I'm going to hire him away. I'm going to bring him down here to Louisiana and put free room and board, and he's going to have great graphical overlays. Thanks for joining us, guys. For those of you who don't know, it's super late for some of us. Josh is right in the perfect time zone. We accommodated his needs, and then he came and he busted our ass on the draft. But it was still fun, and it's always a pleasure to share the screen with you 5 guys who I respect and admire in the content creating world. So anything else you guys have to say before we sign off? Anything?
Thanks for organizing this, Brian.
Yeah, it was fun. Next year we'll put a little more thought and more time into it, and we'll make it a little bit better and more enjoyable for the people. But I figured people will like this, and it'll be a nice conversation piece. So,
and the ask is people vote based on what criteria?
Their hearts. Their heart.
Vote
with your hearts. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm looking for the pity vote. I'm not even looking for like a legitimate vote here, right? So you can pitch whatever you want. In fact, the way it works is when this video goes up, we also have access to the comments. And so maybe it's one of those deals where we can sway the vote. Maybe I'll be the first person that comments on it because I'll know when it gets published first. And maybe I can kind of alter the minds and hearts of the people and kind of get that sympathy vote.
If it's mail-in votes, we don't know what could happen.
We don't know.
Vote against their best interests all the time. So this thing could get out of control quick.
Yeah. I mean, I might get 100 votes in my favor DM to me that you guys might not know about.
If we can buy views, I'm going to buy votes. I'm just going to have all the bots go to this video. Comment, all for me.
Fair enough. Thanks for joining me, guys. Y'all get some sleep. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.